everyone, it's Renee from Lovely Lavender Wishes. Hope you're all having a very blessed week. Today we're going to be working on these little mini tags. I'll show you how to make them. They're so easy and so cute. You can tie these to anything, make them for little dangles or for embellishments on your page or what have you. But before we start that, I have a few announcements. As you have seen, I haven't been posting videos very recently. Some good news, just this past week, I got the honor and the privilege of becoming featured artist in a Bible journaling Facebook group that I'm in. They're going through the Psalms, and they asked me to be one of their feature artists. Yay, I'm so excited. So I am going to be doing live videos on that, teaching how to process videos. I'm going to be recording videos, pre-recorded videos, things like that. So I've been kind of busy getting all of that together and figuring all that out this past week. And so I'll be uploading videos on that. And as you all know, on my YouTube channel, I do Bible journaling process videos as well. So what I'll do is any process videos that I make for the Journey Through the Bible program, I will be uploading it to my YouTube channel as well, so y'all can see that if you are interested in crafting along with me through the Psalms. So I'll be doing that, so I'm busy with that. But I'll also be posting, little things like this. I don't know if I'm going to start a huge project like another journal, but you never know. I might do some file folder journals or some mini journals along the way. For the next, I don't know, it's probably going to be a couple months, or we'll see. I mean, who knows? It just depends on my schedule. Also, my travel schedule is picking up, so I'm going to be in and out a lot. So I'll be posting videos haphazardly, I guess. There's going to be no rhyme or reason. Whenever I can get a video out, I'll get it out. So if you don't see me for like a week or two, I haven't disappeared. I'm just really busy doing a few things, but I'll never stop crafting. So with all that said, let's move on to how to make all these. Here, I did it a few different ways. So all of these I'll show you, it's chipboard. It looks like wood. Haha, faked you out, but it's chipboard. So the covering on this is just a plain gloss. The covering on this is the crackle. So you can do a couple different things. What I used here is just some paper cutouts, fussy cut, with some cheesecloth and words. And on here, these are live pressed flowers with words. So you can do a variety of things. I used, some mushroom ephemera, and things like that. So you can use whatever you want. But I'll show you how I did this. So let me grab my chair. Let's start crafting, y'all. Yay! I'm so excited to craft again for a little while. It's been a few days and I was having withdrawals. Oh. So if you have anything like this, these are what I used. So I used, let's see, a couple of these for this. These kind of chipboard pieces. So little tag pieces, chipboard. And this is what they turned into. Let's see. These Heidi Swap colored chipboards, I never used those. They're like a maroon color, and so turned it into this. Front and back. And then these big circle chipboards were turned into these. So if you don't have chipboard, you can use cardboard. You can use, any kind of box you have. Cut out shapes. You can cut out squares, tags, circles, ovals, whatever you want. If you don't have any of that, just get like a hard, let's see, I don't have any around me, but just like, like a heavier duty cardstock, and maybe punch out circles or little tabs or tags or what have you if you have a punch, or cut them out. You're gonna probably want to cut out maybe 2 or 3 and layer them, glue them together and layer them so it's a little bit thicker, kind of, the consistency of a chipboard, or the thickness, not the consistency. Better vocabulary. Like, you might want to layer a few. So if you have a few thicker cardstocks, you can cut them out and layer them, maybe 2 or 3, glue them together. So you just have this, you know, a little bit thicker. But it is as easy as that. So grab some chipboard, cut out your paper, whatever you want to do. And let me show you what I did. So for the longest time, I would never work with chipboard because it's just, I was like, it's so plain. How do I transform it? And then, you know, I just started fooling around with it and started painting them. And what ended up really cool is when you paint them, it kind of made it look like wood, like little wood chips. And you can use, see, here's the chipboard on the back. I didn't paint the back of this one, but it makes it kind of look like wood. And I'll show you how I did it. Super easy. But if you have wood chips, you could even use wood chips. I have some of those. So you can, anything you have, anything you have, you can make into these. Okay, so let me grab a big one so you can see. Well, a bigger one. Let me just grab this. Okay, so we'll do it on that one. Okay, so all I did, I have a white acrylic paint and a burnt sienna acrylic paint. Just those 2 colors. That's it. And I put a little bit, here's my white, and here's my burnt sienna. You just need a little bit, unless you're gonna do like a whole bunch. When I did all of these tags, I had about the same amount in each bin, but I'm just gonna do one to show you how I did this. Okay, so you take your white, and the first thing I did was just cover the chipboard. So you have like a base, something for the paint to grab hold of. And I did this on, like, this is just wax paper, so I wouldn't get paint everywhere. Just easier for me that way. You do get paint all over your fingers because these are tiny, so you just keep wiping your hands off. Okay, and then you kind of want to let this dry a little bit, just a little to kind of soak into the chipboard and give you like that base to work off of. So let's just let it dry a little bit. And then to mix the color, I guess, or to streak the color, I would do an up and down so you get this grainy type look. If you can see that. I would just kind of take a little dab of white, a little dab of this burnt sienna, and then just paint it like this, as you can see. You see that? And that is it. That is as easy as that, y'all. If you want it darker in spots, like on this one, I wanted it a little bit darker in spots, so you just take a little bit more of the burnt sienna and just kind of go in. And then if you mess that up, you're like, oh my gosh, it's too dark, just go in with the white. And like, it's just back and forth until you're happy with it. And that is it. And then I'm gonna put my brush in water, move this out of the way because y'all know me, I'm gonna spill it. And then you're gonna let that dry. Once that is dry, you're going to paint the back. I mean, you don't have to, but let me show you. Like on this one, here's the front and here's the back. And I just lightly painted the back because the back is you're probably not gonna see the back unless you're gonna make this as a dangle and it's gonna swing back and forth. If it's gonna swing back and forth, you might wanna decorate both the front and the back side. If you're just gonna maybe tie this to a tab or a tag, or tie it with ribbon, something, and it's gonna lay flat. I didn't decorate the back, but I did paint the back, so then you don't have this, chipboard look on the back, but it's up to you, totally up to you. So once that dries, your next step is to flip it over and paint the back. And all I did, I had an assembly line going. I just painted all my chipboard, the front, let it dry, come back, flip them all over, paint the backs, let that dry. Okay, so we'll move this to the side while that's drying. So when it dries, your next step, so here's what it looks like when it dries. So dry, front and back. So you can see that. Now, as you can see along the edge, it looks like it's been inked because it has. So your next step, after it's dry, you're gonna take your ink, and this one I used a brush corduroy on, and you're just gonna go around and ink up the sides as dark as you want them. There you go. So again, on my assembly line, they were all dry. I picked them all up. I inked them all. Boom, 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 boom. Easy peasy. Okay. And then all it is decorating. So now they look like little wood pieces, but they're really light, super easy to play with and punch holes in and whatever else you want to do. So for instance, let's see. So for this one, I fussy cut out some flower pieces. So I have all these little printables that I have printed out, and they're little tiny. And I was like, what am I going to use these for? These are perfect for little charms and tags and dangles and things such as this. So as you can see, all I did was fussy cut out an image. I had some small ones, I had some large ones. Here's like teeny tiny ones, and here's a larger one. So here's one. I didn't want to have me on camera fussy cutting because that's boring. So here, I cut it out and I inked up the side. So you can do that. Another thing you can do, I have these from my Your Creative Studio box, my monthly subscription. These are real pressed flowers. So if you have real pressed flowers, they're very delicate, but they make such an impact. They're so pretty. So here, let me show you an example. I did a few of them. Got that one, this one, this one. So all I did was cut out, you can see, just like a little snippet of one of these flowers. I would just cut off a little snip and put that on with a word phrase and glued that to the chipboard. Okay, here's another one. Here's one of the purple ones. Even though it looks orange, what happens from this is when you put on the gloss, it takes on the color of the paint as well as the flower, and the purple and the paint kind of meshed together a little bit, and you got this like orangish color. And these were orange flowers, and so the orange seeped in there. And same for here. So you can see like some spots, like the orange kind of bled out. And other spots were clear, but I kind of like that look. It's pretty cool. Now you're not going to get that effect with just a cutout piece, but if you're using real flowers or things, the color might bleed out. But again, I like it. It gives it a different look. So you can use real flowers, real pressed flowers. That could be a fun activity, is go out and find a bunch of flowers, press them, and then use them on here. Or you could use ephemera pieces like this. So I'm just using an ephemera piece for this to make it easy. And then little piece of cheesecloth. So I just grabbed a piece of cheesecloth. I inked it up so it wasn't like stark white because it was a white piece of cheesecloth. And then I just cut out little teeny tiny pieces. So as you can see, like on some of these, like these are mini tags. I just had like a mini piece of cheesecloth. And the cool thing is once it gets on here and we put it on, it gets hard, except for like the little pieces sticking out. But even like some of these pieces get, hard from the lacquer or the glossy accents that we put on top. So it's pretty cool. I like that look. So it looks delicate behind it, but it's sturdy too. So the other thing I did, so let me grab my brush. So to decorate, if you have Mod Podge or like maybe watered down glue or something like that, you want to get that. All I have right now is my gesso. I ran out of Mod Podge, which I am waiting to get in the mail. So, in the meantime, I'm going to make do. I could water down some glue, but this gesso works just as well. All I need it to do is stick and hold my my cheesecloth. Okay, so the next thing you want to do, if you're working in an assembly line, all you do now is cut out all your things. Figure out if you want, some cheesecloth or maybe some material or some ribbon or whatever you want on it. then whatever image or focal point you want on it, if you want like maybe a butterfly, or here's another butterfly, or a mushroom, or whatever you want, whatever you have, whatever you want. And if you want a word phrase, so the next thing I did was kind of like put everything together and make sure it all fit, and figured out how I was going to decorate each one. So then again, another assembly line, I just cut and, you know, just set everything down to figure out what I wanted to do. So I'm like, okay, that looks good. It fits. So your next step then is to take your gesso, your watered down glue, your Mod Podge, whatever, and you're going to put a light coat on your chipboard. And then you're gonna place your, see, we'll hold it down for you. So you're gonna place your cheesecloth down, and then for some extra sturdiness, I'm gonna glue my ephemera piece onto the board. And it's okay if a little bit sticking off. Here I have the butterfly sticking off, and it's actually pretty strong. It's not a piece of paper anymore with, well, I mean, it's a piece of paper, but with the accent, the glossy accent on it, or the crackle, it thickens it up. So it's pretty sturdy. As long as you don't have like a big piece hanging off, you can, you know, it's not gonna really go anywhere. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a little glue on the word phrase. And again, my fingers got full of glue because you're working with such tiny pieces that, you know, they get all glued up. Okay, let me put that in there. Okay. And then you're going to take your Mod Podge again, or your gesso, or your watered down glue, and kind of gently, especially if you're using, where did they go? If you're using these real flowers, you want to kind of dab them like this. And that's what I do with the cheesecloth, because I want it to stay in its spot. And then I just dab it down and just put a layer. This kind of holds it down. It's kind of like decoupaging it down, I guess, and giving it another layer of protection before you put the all your clear stuff over it, all your gloss and what have you. Okay. So then you're going to do that with all of them. Cover them up, and then you're going to let them dry. You need to let them dry. So let's put this one to the side. Let's move this. And we're going to move this and move this to the side. Those are going to dry. Okay, so when it's dry, it looks like this. This one's dry. Ta-da! Miracle of camera when I'm not editing. So these two are drying. This one's actually dry already. So when you use tempera paint, it dries really fast if you use a thin coat. So you can then turn these over and do the back if you want. This will dry a little bit slower, but it'll still, maybe 10 minutes it'll dry. Usually by the time if you have like an assembly line going, usually by the time you are done with your last one, the first one's dry, and then you can start again. So it's just like a perfect, mode of crafting when you just kind of do it all together. Okay. So when it's dry, this is what it looks like. So it's plain on top, not shiny, but it's attached to your chipboard. So then you have a few options. You can decide what you want to do. You can use a glossy accent, or if you have like some kind of glaze, you could do a glaze. Now here's one with a glossy accent. If you can see that, see, it's plain gloss. See that? Okay. Or you can use your crackle accents if you have this. And let me grab one of those. This one was done with the crackle accents. Can you see the crackle effect in there? So here, let's see. I did the flowers, the real flowers with the crackle accents. See that? Just gives it a little bit more, because it was just, I didn't want to fool around with these flowers too much because they were so delicate. I didn't want to put cheesecloth and anything else under it because I wasn't sure how they were gonna, stick, or if they were gonna break. So I just had the flower and a word. And so I did the crackle accents to give it a little bit more something, so it wasn't just a flower and a word. It just gave it a little bit something else. This one was just a flower. I didn't even put words on it, but I used the crackle accents on that one too. And it's still really cool. I love it. Let's see. Here's a mushroom with the crackle accents. And then here's a mushroom with just the gloss. So I don't know if you can see the difference there. Crackle on here, just gloss there. So it totally depends what you want to use. So I'm going to let's just use a gloss on this one. Make this one glossy. And then all you're going to do is take your gloss and just cover the whole thing. Oh, my stomach's growling, y'all. I didn't have breakfast yet. Okay, so you're just going to cover the whole thing. With the gloss. Make sure there's no like little empty spots you can kind of see. And then you're gonna let that sit. Here's a little bubble. So you're gonna let that sit, usually overnight. It usually takes a few hours for this to really dry. So if you can see that, let's see if I can lift it up. Okay. So you can see that it's got the gloss all over it, and then you're gonna just let it dry, and there you go. So this one's gonna dry. When it is dry, it's going to look like these. Ta-da! And there you go. Now, if you're like for example, this one does not have a hole in it, but it's chipboard. You can just take your crocodile and just punch a little hole. So these little circles did not have holes in them. So at the end, if you want a hole in it, just take your little crocodile, and I just did the small hole and punched it. Super easy, went through very easily, no problem. And then you can decide how it is you want to hang these. So you can hang it with a metal hook, you can hang it with a wire, you could put a ribbon through this, you could put twine through it. If you have a tag with maybe a bell, or let's see, like a bulb. Let me grab, oops, sorry, I just hit the camera. Like one of these, like a bulb clip, you can put it through there. If you have a bow with ribbon and you wanna like tie this to the bow and have it hanging, I mean, however your imagination goes, but these are perfect. So these are perfect to have on hand if you're doing like a junk journal or a card, or even Bible journaling for just a little something extra. So you can hang these anyway. You can, like I said, use wire, ribbon, bows, strings, pins, however you want to hang them. And there you go. Super easy, y'all. Super effective, and it's fun. So this is what I spent yesterday doing along with my Bible journaling. So like I said, I will be uploading some videos on my Journey Through the Bible featured artist. I'm so excited, y'all. I can't believe I got asked. So yeah, so I'll be working on that. So I'll be uploading those as well, along with junk journaling ideas and different things. So hope you keep on following me through the journey. Thank you all for joining me. I am so thankful for the kind words. I'm thankful for just being able to do this. I mean, gosh, what a life. I've just been having so much fun with this, and I'm just so blessed, and I hope you're all having a blessed day, and I hope you all keep creating and have fun, and let me know if you'd like to see anything in particular, or if you have any requests or what have you. But like I said, my videos are going to be sporadic. I don't know when they're all going to come out. I mean, I never really know when they're going to come out anyways. It's just like when the mood hits. I kind of like that. I don't like having to be on a certain schedule. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on in the last week or so. And I'll be working on that for probably the next 2 or 3 months. And who knows where that's going to lead. It's exciting, but I'm just having fun doing it. So thank you all so much for joining me and for encouraging me and for creating. And I love seeing all the things that you guys come up with. So again, hope you all have a blessed week. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.